Welcome to the 2018 series of the Skeeter Bass Champs television show. And get ready for this, guys, because you'll see the Berkley Big Bass event winners. What? 2 guys will be competing here with us. One that caught the largest fish over the slot on Lake Fork, and the one that catches the largest fish under the slot. Watch out, it's Bass Champs, and it starts now.
Ah! Come on, big boy. There we go, boy. Good job.
In 1997, Chad Potts and Jeff Welch created the Bass Champs Tournament Organization, hosting amateur fishing events throughout the state of Texas. And when Skeeter Boats came aboard as the title sponsor, Bass Champs became the largest team tournament circuit in the nation, boasting the richest guaranteed payback in grassroots competition. So if you love bass fishing and you want to have a great time competing in the biggest team tournaments and big fish competitions, it's time to join us at Bass Champs. Welcome to the Skeeter Bass Champs television series. I'm your host, Fishburne, alongside Chad Potts and Jeff Welch from the Bass Champs organization in Fort Worth, Texas. Chad, big match today. Tell me who's going to fish.
We got our Berkley Big Bass winners from Lake Fork this year, Alan Teague, DeArce Williams. They're going head-to-head and moving on and seeing who gets to go to the next round.
And it's going to be the rules. Now tell me, are these Bass Champs rules all the time?
Yeah, you know, for the most part. Today, though, 3 fish, 14 inches, and the other change, no net.
No net. Tell me about the equipment these guys will be fishing with.
Awesome stuff. Both guys have the identical tackle and baits, the new Berkley baits, including the Fusion terminal tackle, and Abu Garcia rod and reels.
The competition starts now. Our anglers are idling out. Let's check in and find out what their strategy is.
The sun was up and we got some grass in this place. I'd run a rattle trap over top of the grass. 41 on the pond's pretty cold, but pretty deep pond. 31 foot down here, sort of down. I don't know which sun was up more already, but gonna start off running the trap around something.
Don't see any surface activity. Water's a little cold, so I think I'm gonna go with a 10-inch power worm today, and maybe a Berkley war pig to see if I can search for them and try to find them. And then I'll use a 10-inch worm once I find them to, you know, slow down and see if I can't pick some of the big mamas off. So we're gonna give it a gander and see what happens.
Just trying to fish over some grass. Just trying to figure out something to do on this sun, on the bank, but the sun's hitting first. Need to get on that little flat up there, I think, with that point sticking up. We're gonna troll pretty fast up there. I'm gonna check it out from there. I'm gonna work pretty fast down through here. Hey, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. Well, it's good to get a bite anyhow. It's a pretty good fish.
The lake that these anglers are competing on is in a turnover mode. When the water temperature in the fall and early winter gets really cold, you have a lot of sediment and debris that comes up off the lake bottom, and typically these lakes are crystal clear. Well, it can make conditions tough along with the water temperatures we're seeing in the low 40s, but here's the key, the bait. The bluegill that these guys are trying to imitate with their lures, the bluegill are plentiful in these lakes. And you notice this is a small one. There's a lot of 3 to 4 inch bluegill that are around a lot of these targets, whether it's a rock that's in shallow water, a grass bed, or even a standing tree. Matching that bluegill forage is probably going to be the key outcome.
You know, I guess in winter months, this is a deeper area, so, you know, they usually, from my, you know, I wouldn't say experience, but from learning from different people, you know, in the wintertime, fish usually hold to deeper areas, I guess, because of warmer water. So, you know, I think that's a key point, you know, a key factor in winter fishing is, you know, drop-offs or anywhere where the sun can, stumps for instance, I'm gonna be, you know, going at every stump once the sun gets up to, you know, possibly, like I said, get that bite. But hopefully I can get one, like I said, to break this morning skunk. So, bite.
Skeeter Bass Champs with Fishburne is brought to you by Skeeter. Eat, sleep, fish. Yamaha. Reliability starts here. Power Pole. Swift, silent, secure. Lowrance. Find, navigate, dominate. Chevron Dello. Let's go further. Techron. Expect more. Sportsman's Auto Network. Dealers that speak our language.
Bye. Ah! All right. Whew. I should have went with my gut. I should have just picked it up. But hey, we're all right. And that was a big one.
DeAris Williams just lost a great bass. I got to tell you something. Jeff Welch, tournament director, early this morning announced the no net rule. Well, that could come back to haunt DeAris. That was a great fish. I'm not sure how big it was. I'm going to guess the fish at 4 to 5 pounds.
I felt the tick tick, and I waited for my line to run, and I set the hook. I don't think I set it good enough, but you know, that was my fault. I should have reached down and grabbed it instead of trying to swing it in the boat. So, you know, maybe this will be a productive area. I'm gonna try to stay around here and kind of pick it a little bit, and so maybe we might be on to something if I can get another bite. You know, I've looked at a few spots, fished a few spots. I'm trying to pick apart the creek channel. I'm visualizing it throwing and just trying to put something in the fish's face and get it started, you know, break the ice. So I can feel my hands again. So now I'm more confident now. So get the first fish in the boat, I feel a little more, you know, relaxed.
There he is. There he is. That's a good one too. That's a good fish right there. That's a good one. I'm gonna try to swing her. She's still green. On top of the head. That's a good one.
There you go. I believe that fish will measure. That's going to be number 2 for Alan Teague. Now, you heard him say that war pig, I believe it's a 1/2 ounce bait, looks just like the bluegill that are in this lake. And he says the fish are up towards the surface in the water column. Maybe the sunshine is really starting to turn these fish on, because we've seen both Alan and DeAris have several strikes here in the last 15 to 20 minutes.
There you go. That's a good one. He barely hooked. Oh, that's a good one. Easy now. Under the bottom of the lip too. Easy.
You talk about a cool customer. I like the way Alan Teague is running his show. Okay, so he hooks these fish on these treble hook baits and he doesn't panic. A lot of anglers, as soon as they lock on with a bass, they start winding and grinding, they get down low, they force the fish up and they try to swing them in with the no net rule. Not Alan Teague. He's taking his time, he's methodical, and he's landing every fish that bites that bait. Good job, mister.
That's a good one. You hold up here a second. That's a good one. You know, they just sort of run up behind this thing and swapping it. That's a good one.
Things you're looking up.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Working in slow in the wintertime. Trying to get that fish in. Not the size of that first one. Maybe a little bigger. All right. They hit and they just sort of, you just sort of lose the feel of your bait. You don't really feel them hit it, your bait's just gone. So.
Well, there you go. First call of the day for Alan Teague. Darius.
Yes, sir.
You see what's going on right here?
I'm witnessing it all.
What's up?
I see he's doing well, and that's, hey, best man is winning. And hey, I'm not mad about it. Hey, I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Still have time. Lowrance Electronics. That's what these guys are using today to try to locate the objects that these fish are holding on. Now, we heard Alan say earlier that some of the fish were up in the top of the water column, but without your underwater eyes, you're never gonna be able to see just what's down there.
It's pretty shallow on top. It runs out to the creek out there, and it's got grass on top of it. Not really good grass, but grass. But it drops off on the back side and the front side fairly fast, so they've been sitting on that drop. But it's hard to put this war pig down when I'm getting a bite I'm getting a bite occasionally. And I need one more big one to be really good, but I ain't setting this war pig down. I ain't got 4 good bites on it, and we got about an hour to go. So I'm gonna keep fishing, just keep fishing fairly medium slow with it and see if I can get another one. Yep. Well, I said.
All right. Oh, whoa. Oh my.
Come on.
Ah.
I don't think you did anything wrong.
I don't think I did either. I mean, I set the hook good, and I seen it in the mouth, but yeah, that was a 5+. Fatty. Well, felt the tick, set the hook, saw the tension, was reeling, and I thought I had it. It looked, pinned. And then, I don't know what happened. But, hey, it went something, but that was a very big fish. Like, yeah, it was a big one.
Darius, you're killing me. What is going on?
I'm setting the hook, but it's just, they're not pinned good. I mean, I'm getting to the boat, and this new net rule is just jabbing me. But, that's why it's called fishing, not catching, so. But those were 2 key fish that.
Great fish. Tell me about the setup. What are you throwing at them?
I am throwing a Texas rig, the Berkley Max scent in watermelon red color. Okay. And, I'm just slow rolling it. The war pig didn't really do anything for me. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna stick to my gut and finesse fish and slow down and, you know, do what I like. So.
Well, DRS, you want me to give the update on what Teague has?
Yes.
No, I can't.
Understandable, understandable. I need something to go to the weigh-in with though, so I ain't giving up just yet.
No, gosh, no, you got plenty of time. Keep
Yes,
up
sir.
the good work. Come on.
Thank you.
Alan, I know you're in the heat of the battle, but fire that bait over here for just a second. Look at this right here, guys. We were talking about the bluegill that are in this lake. Tell me that doesn't match them up almost exact. Same size, same profile. The only difference is this thing has rattles. That's a fish catching machine. Alan, get back to work, brother. You've been culling. Great job.
There you go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's what we're looking for right there. Barely hooked though. On that point. I don't know if I can get. Oh, come on in here. That's a good one.
There's only 30 minutes remaining in the competition right now. And I gotta tell you, Alan Teague has been taking his time. He's been retying. He's really relaxed. Different situation right now for Mr. Williams.
There he is. He ain't going cold. He got it good though. Same place, they sitting right there.
He's sitting out here on a long point. He's ticking the tops of the grass with that bait, it looks like, and talk about paying dividends.
Skeeter Bass Champs with Fishburne is brought to you by Skeeter, eat, sleep, fish. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. Chevron Dello, let's go further. Techron, expect more. Sportsman's Auto Network, dealers that speak our language.
Do you want to know how much time you have left?
Yes, how much time? Yes, how much time do I have left? I'm sorry. 1 minute?
Yeah.
1 minute. You get your butt in here. Dang you. Pretty. Crap.
Talk about crazy. DRS catches his first fish of the competition with mere seconds remaining. The horn sounds ending the competition. We're going to take it back to the weigh-in and make it official.
All right, about to start the Skeeter Bass Champs TV Challenge with our big bass winner from the Berkley Big Bass event. Won the underboat. DRS Williams, come on up. We're going to weigh your fish. All right. I know not what you were hoping for. All right, there's your weight. I'm going to write this down. Confirm that? Okay, let me give this to him. All right, so we're gonna bring up Alan, your competitor. We'll see how he did, and then one of you is gonna move on, and one of you unfortunately has to go home, but either way, it was a great year. Awesome. All right, man, we'll see you in a little bit.
Well, there goes DRS Williams with that one bass, and I gotta tell you, it boils down to mistakes. The two fish that he lost may have just won this competition. Coming up right now, Chad Potts with our other angler, Alan Teague.
All right, coming back for our second competitor on the Skeeter Bass Champs TV Challenge, Alan Teague, our winner of the Berkley Big Bass event in the over division. Already won a big boat this year. Here's your total weight. Confirm that's okay? All right. Let me hand these fish off. Okay. All right, so how do you feel about it right now?
Pretty good. If he beats me, he did a good job because we had a blast this morning. We caught some good fish, so had a great time.
And you got to use all kinds of new baits that you hadn't used before?
Yeah, we did. Finally found one that they were hitting on pretty well, so we stuck with that one, but had a great time.
All right, exit off the stage real quick. We're gonna bring the RS back up and see who moves on.
Well, there you go, Alan Teague with 3 great fish. It looks like he's going to move on. Remember, that grass pig fished super, super slow was the critical difference. Chad Potts is with our 2 anglers right now to make it official.
I'm going to bring up Alan DeAris. We're going to see who's moving on to the next round. Both of you had a great year this year. You both won a brand new Skeeter bass boat on Lake Fork at the Berkley Big Bass event. Now you're down to the elimination side. Only one of you can move on, unfortunately. And I'm going to tell you who it is. Alan is moving on. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Another great episode of the Skeeter Bass Champs TV Challenge. Now remember, that bracket is going to continue to narrow down until we have a final winner. You don't want to go away though. Next week, you're going to see our championship winners from Shreveport, Louisiana, going head to head against the Techron TX Shootout winners. I'm Fish Fishburne, your host. I'll see you next week for the Skeeter Bass Champs TV series.
It's time for the Berkley winning strategy. When Alan Teague launched his boat, he located a long main lake point that contained 2 key ingredients. The point had an abundance of vegetation running down its sides, and there was also a creek channel at the end of the point, which allowed the bass to travel from deep to shallow for a feeding opportunity. By tying on a 1/2 ounce Berkley War Pig lipless crankbait, Alan began methodically ticking the top of the grass and started catching fish in the 4 to 6 foot zone. And that's your Berkley winning strategy.
I'll tell you a few things that we've determined today. All of the fish that we've seen caught have been shallow, except for the ones that were deep. The lures that they've been using have been a crankbait, except for the ones that were caught on worm. The boats that they're fishing out of have been floating.